What's up, everybody? Back again, another episode of CMA Podcast. I wasn't going to do a podcast today, but I had some spare time, and I said I'd set everything up, and if I got inspired, I just talk straight into the camera with the mic and see what came out. And if it was good enough, I'd post it. If it wasn't, I'd delete it. It's nice having that creative freedom. It's nice being in charge of this project. It's nice having the ability to start a sentence, and if you don't like where the sentence is going, you could just stop. It's great. No one breathing down your neck, no one telling you what to say, no one telling you what to do. It's a beautiful feeling, and it's nice. It's nice because I get all of the thoughts that are in here that normally wouldn't pass my mouth, get them out on the mic. And I guess it's a good therapy for me when we've been going through what we've been going through for the last 1.5 to 2 years, not knowing if you're allowed to do things that you normally did. You're not allowed to go places with the amount of people that you can normally go with. And it's nice that I would encourage anybody to pick something new and see where it goes if you enjoy it. Right now, I enjoy speaking into a microphone to myself and seeing what type of reaction my absolute rambling nonsense gets. It's fun. It's a fun experience for me. And people, the main reason for this conversation today is the fact that with the gym and gym ethics especially, I think I'm going to title this podcast Gym Ethics. The first question I always ask anybody when they come to the gym, when they come to one of my classes, or anything that they do that they've chosen to do, I always ask why. Why are you here? It doesn't matter why to me, but it should matter to you. Why? Are you just here for the fun? To meet people? To make friends? Or is it deeper? Are you being bullied? And you want to learn a martial art that will keep you safe, that will give you the confidence that you need? Are you doing it to become a pro fighter in certain aspects of the fight game? Are you learning jiu-jitsu to become a black belt? Are you learning jiu-jitsu just to try something new? Why boxing? Why do you want to punch someone in the face? Why do you want to put yourself in a position that you could get punched in the face? Or your ribs? Got a couple of nice body shots last night, and my whole left-hand side of my body is pretty beat up. And when you explain this to people that don't go to fight gyms and don't understand fighting, they're like, why do you do this? This is insane. You get punched in the nose and you're okay with this? I get it. It's not for everybody. But when I talk to someone about why they go to the gym and I hear the answers, it's super interesting to me. Like, people are asking me, hey, Dave, why are you starting a podcast? Like, from what I see and from who I listen to on podcasts, people are famous and then they start a podcast. They bring their following to a podcast. And you don't see many podcasts start from people like me, a nobody, and excel to levels of fame and fortune based solely on being a podcaster. I mean, yes, you can bring out Joe Rogan, but he was a stand-up comedian and had a persona on the TV. I think he was on Mad TV in the US. He did Fear Factor before the podcast, I believe. So again, even using Joe Rogan as an example here, they bring their audience to the podcast and they start with amazing traction. Me, I'm a nobody. I'm just a guy with a microphone. And people are telling me, why, or people, asking me why start a podcast. I think the injection of having things to say was magnified when we stopped going to the gym and when gyms were shutting down. I used to talk so much about fighting, upcoming fights, last weekend's fights, previous favorite fights, whatever the case may be. And that all stopped because there was no people that I had this much in common with in relation to fights. I've got a lot of casual fight friends that don't know the background to a lot of amazing fights back in the day and things like that. So I and even before that, I got this out earlier because I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to get off social media about a year ago. I was going to delete it all, and I just didn't have time for it anymore. And I ended up buying a Nokia 3310 because the only person I really communicate with is my wife. And then obviously back home, my parents and things like that. But it just wasn't feasible for me to go all in and go cold turkey on social media. And then the opportunity at the gym came along, and I'm now in charge of the social media. So I went from wanting to get off it completely to using it every hour of every day. So my choice, I guess. But that's one of the main reasons why I decided to start this, just to talk about, the amazing fights, the amazing upcoming fights. I thoroughly enjoyed sitting down yesterday with my partner Evo at CMA and just discussing Conor versus Dustin. That's happening this weekend. Going back through their first fight, going back through their second fight, talking about who they lost to, who they beat, who they have in common with on their resume. Just even that type of conversation with someone who knows what they're talking about is priceless to me. Like for me, obviously, sponsored by Motorhead, Guns N' Roses today, and Zach Wilde's Doom Crew ring. I'm part of the Doom Crew. I don't have a motorbike, so. But I'm just like, that full conversation with someone who knows what they're talking about, it's priceless to me. And, I haven't been going to concerts. I used to go to like maybe a concert a month, sometimes more, since this all went down. And not being able to do that is quite tough for me because that's my release. I don't go out at the weekend. I'm very, very busy at home. And the fact that I haven't been going to concerts mentally is taking its toll on me. Now, I'm not complaining. I know that there are people out there losing everything. So these are my problems, and relative to what's going on, I get it. All right, shut up and don't go to your concerts. And I'm okay with that, but I really feel that the strain of not going to concerts and not being able to go to the gym and practice and spar and talk and high five and hug and be part of the gang, essentially. Finishing work at 5. And I mean, back in the day, God damn it, I would finish work at 5 and I would be in the gym at 6:15 and I wouldn't leave till 10. I'd take a couple of classes and I'd just be there hanging out with guys talking about fights. So this podcast has really helped me get all that bottled up conversation out, whether I'm talking to myself, whether I'm talking to whoever's listening, my partner, whatever. But it's fun. I like it. I enjoy it. So that's why I'll bring it back to the gym. Why the gym? Why are you going to the gym? What brings you here? I remember, I'm not going to name drop too much on this podcast, but I do remember a specific conversation I had with Chuck Liddell. The night before Chuck Liddell came to our gym in Cork, there was a select few of us invited to a dinner in, I think it was the Clarion Hotel. And at one point I was sitting next to Chuck Liddell, And he was obviously doing the seminar the next night. And I'm asking him so many questions. I'm burning his ears because he's who he is. He's a legend of the sport. I'm fully invested in this sport. And he's sitting next to me. And he asked me, why? Why MMA? And I said, because I want to be a badass like you. And he said, terrible answer. Terrible answer. You should do this for yourself. I was devastated when he said to me, terrible answer. But we ended up having a great conversation. He was at the gym the next night. He did a full, I think it was a 2-hour seminar. Got a face off with him. Scariest face off I've ever had in my life. I'm facing off with Chuck Liddell, and I'm looking into his eyes, and he's looking down, obviously for the pose, but I just thought, I'm now looking at Chuck Liddell in a situation where he's been in before at weigh-ins with someone he's going to take the head off of the next night. And I really did genuinely start feeling my arms burn, just kind of like, oh God. And we turned, high-fived, and I moved on. It was fun. That was a good time. But I do remember what he said. Terrible answer. You got to do this for yourself. And I understand why. Figure out why you're doing this. And I was doing this for myself. I think I just gave a terrible answer in the heat of the moment. But talk to your coach. If you're lost, you don't know what you're doing in relation to this situation. If you don't know why you're there, talk to your coach and say things like, am I progressing? That's a beautiful question to ask, because your coach should not lie to you. Am I progressing? What do I suck at? What am I good at? And then figure out yourself mentally why you're there. And if it's for you, I've had many people in my classes before realize through my feedback that this sport, boxing, is not for you. They learned very, very quickly that it's different. There's a helicopter outside, and I don't know if that's going to be picked up on the mic, but it is rattling in my ear. I'm going to keep this in. I was going to delete it, but I'm going to keep it in. Thanks for that. But yeah, figure out why you're there and then grow from that. Let that be the seed in the pot of compost and let it grow from there. Because I think then clarity will start to build, confidence will start to build, and you'll have a purpose. Now, I want to touch, before I finish up here, I want to touch on things like the minutia to do with the gym. Figure out why you want to go, why you're there, what's the purpose. Go to a gym. Take their every place should have a proba training, like a free first class, to figure out if there's a vibe in the gym. If there's a vibe in the gym and you feel it, you should feel it on the first night. This is not something that happens over the course of 3 or 4 months. So talk to people who are there. Why do they like it? Why are they there? What sucks in this gym? What don't you like? Why don't you like it? Cleanliness. Is the gym clean? Are you clean? Don't be the smelly guy at the gym that never washes his equipment or her equipment. Hand wraps, shorts, t-shirts, boxing gloves. Make sure all of that gets aired and washed. Figure that out. I could tell you some awful stories of just stinky guys, man. Oh my God. 3 days, no wash. Boxing gloves stinking of raw sweat. Hardened, crusty sweat. Ugh. And most importantly, don't be one of those gym killers, because those gym killers are pussies. The guy that walks around every night punching people, never getting hit, flexing. No one wants to be that guy, because in my experience, those gym killers, they go to competitions or they set themselves up in fights. They think they're heroes because they're not touched in the gym. And then they see someone of their own capabilities, and end up getting absolutely murdered. It's a very, very humbling thing to happen, and a very humbling time for them when they realize, you know what, I got to change up here. Because there's nothing worse than someone in the gym that is just consistently being one of those monsters and not allowing people to work on their offense, just being offensive themselves all the time, over and over again. Hard right hands, body shots, blocking, not allowing the new guy to come in and just have a few shots, you know, not inviting anybody to, hey, you go offensive now. See this a lot in jiu-jitsu. Blue belts, or on the verge of blue, just assassinating the new guys, not willing to roll with the better guys. But you figure all that out, you know. You figure out what type of gym you have by talking to the people, and that first trial training is so important. That's where you should be asking all of your questions. What's this place like? Why should I give this place my money? It's super, super important. You know, I've been bitten by this trap. Read the contract. Absolutely. Read the contract. I've got a very sore shoulder. Got punched last night in the jaw, and it pulled a muscle in my shoulder, and it's really killing me. But yes, read the contract. If you sign up for a 6-month contract, make sure that it is not a rolling contract that automatically renews. If you're not happy with that, and the gym cannot take that out of the contract, if they don't have the ability to delete that text and reprint it, that's a red flag. Rolling contracts are absolute nonsense. That's why you got to read everything. Make sure you read everything in the contract before you sign it, because you can't then come around and say, but I didn't know. Well, you signed it confirming that you did know. So be careful. I was in a gym and I got a phone call from some new guys. Actually, this gym, CMA, they're setting up the new gym, and they wanted me to be a coach. And I obviously said yes, awesome opportunity. I had to get out of the contract that I was in. The contract, and I was planning to renew it anyway, but at the time I called them and I said, what's the deal with my contract? Can I cancel it now? And I was 2 days over the contractual obligation of giving 2 weeks notice prior to the next loop of the automatic renewal. So it was being renewed in 12 days. But because I failed to give the 2 weeks notice, they said, sorry, can't do nothing for you. Whoops, maybe next time. And they sent me a bill a month later. So it was 2 days. Just know what type of scumbags are in this business. You got to read everything. So it wasn't the fact that I was over my 2 weeks. It was that I was inside the 2 weeks. Now, contractually, they were correct. But I would never take anybody's money that didn't want to do that. It's like 2 weeks was plenty of time for them to say, yeah, no problem, we can. 2 days over that. Scumbags. Absolute scumbags. But didn't do anything wrong. My fault. I took that one on the chin. Paid the bill. I'm better for it. But just know that this is a nasty business with nasty people, and you got to be very, very, very careful who you're dealing with. So read the contracts, talk to your members, Talk to the members at the gym. That first night of trial training is very important. Again, as I said, ask all the questions, talk to the coaches, talk to the people who are there. Pay your bills on time. Don't be the dirty guy at the gym. Don't be the smelly guy at the gym. Don't be the gym monster. I sound like one of those Instagram billionaires trying to motivate the middle class by talking nothing but common sense. Try and kick in some beautiful music. Like Steve Harvey. He was like, there are 24 hours in a day. You can't be sleeping 8 hours. That's a third of your life. If you have a sandwich and you forget ketchup, just know that there are other sauces available to you. Yeah, I'll cut that. But yeah, I think that concludes my rambling today. Gym ethics. Being in a gym, it's really strange. It's the only business I've ever seen where the clients can be treated like absolute scum and it be completely accepted. I have been treated like absolute scum in some gyms. Like it's I'm somehow lucky that I'm allowed to be there. But you're getting my money. So find out who the gym owners are, what they're like. Do they have experience? Do they have testimonials or references that people can just, he never stole anything. He never used this stipulation in a contract to get the better of someone else. Find out, are there people in the gym that shouldn't be there? People that are just nasty people looking to prey on the new people. Be careful with your money and getting involved in schemes that look very attractive on paper. I heard stories of legalized pyramid schemes with products. I thought it was like, oh, you want me to buy this? I'll buy it. I'll take a look. No, they wanted you to buy bulk and resell. Legalized pyramid schemes. Nasty. Supplements, stay away. My advice, stay away from all supplements. It is a money-grabbing, nasty game. I say this as a gym owner. Stay away from supplements. That protein powder, that creatine, anything that they say will give you 10% of a boost. No. Just eat right, drink lots of water. That's what you got to do. But there are just some nasty games in this business that you need to be fully aware of and make sure that you don't overlook anything in relation to the initial contract that you sign. But I'm just over my head, just going over my experiences and how angry I can get when it comes to remembering how naive I was. Some nasty games, guys. But not at CMA. CMA, where ethics, business ethics will prevail 100%. Little quick story about what we're doing, if you don't know already, to end this one. We're fortunate. We had noise complaints in the previous building that we were in. And that noise complaint allowed us to talk about getting out of the contract that we were in. We got out of the contract back in February. And I've been doing classes outside and for free since then. I don't mind doing that for free. Gym memberships go towards the premises and the equipment, and we don't have a premises and all our equipment is in storage. So I'm giving my time. And I'll do it for free, and I'll keep doing it for free outside until we get a space. But we got out of that contract and we are no longer paying rent. We have no overheads. We are doing very, very well in that sense. A lot of gyms are being completely crippled by this situation. And I would never charge anybody for a Zoom class or for my time outside. I don't think it's fair if the situation presents itself the way we have established our situation. So I will not be selling powdered protein, maybe protein bars. They're a nice kick, nice chocolate protein bar, but you're going to get none of that crap from CMA. We're going to promote good classes, a clean gym, all the good stuff. A very simply read contract. You're not going to be tied to any long-term automatic renewal nonsense. And that's how I see things going forward. You got to remember the client is key. As I said, I've never seen an industry where the client is treated like such scum. Client is key. Keep your clients happy, your business will prevail. I'm out of here. I've been talking way too long on this one. So thank you very much for listening. We'll catch you on the next one. And again, I need your help, guys. Very, very slow, but I need you to subscribe. I need subscribers. Anyone listening, just do me a favor. If you're on your phone, just down a little bit to the right, boom, subscribe. That's all you got to do. You don't want to listen to me going forward? Just stay subscribed. That'll be great. But I will. I'll put more and more content out. And again, feedback is always welcome. Please let me know what you think, what sucks, what I could do better, and topics for discussion. Let me know. I'll do my best for you guys. Thank you very much again for listening, and we'll talk again soon.